Well, yo, 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 to the yo, 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 and phew, I made it. We're going to start off with price. Here's the chart. We fell off the highs. We came through this channel, and now, of course, the channel is acting as resistance, and we are in a sideways pattern right now. Very interesting short that tried to take hold of all of us, but the free market equilibrium line held, actually. So this is a decent enough sign going into the weekend. And so we'll watch the US Open, see how that all plays out. Give it some room, of course, an hour or so, to see whether or not we're going to continue climbing. I had thought that as the trade was threading up the trend line, well, it's easy enough to see it threading, and then of course when it braked and not return into the trend after it bounced off FME, of course, then you sort of know, and I did a little report over at the Mumble just with a chart and my short commentary that we were on the left side of a ruby short kiss. We had gone short on the trade. So now we see that the trade is just, as they would say, grinding sideways. Got a little bump from when ruby went long, and now, of course, the 8 is holding the close. So this is always a good sign. The 8 holding the closing print. Always a great sign for price to continue to march forward. However, for those that were interested in buying the top, they're not very happy right now, which is a sad thing because a channel, what you're looking for is a break of the channel. Many times traders can trade inside of channels, and that's all fine and good. But for us to move to another ledge or another price level, then of course we do have to break range or channel. And in any event, we could take off the support and resistance lines of the upper channel, or let me see, what is it? Upper channel. We're going, you know where we're going to go today? We're going to go to FinViz today. I'm going to start writing down some of these formations. And but in any event, it's an upward channel. It goes from left to upper right, from left to upper right. And you want price to stay in there if the channel is the real deal. Channel's not the real deal, we'll probably know. I would say that we would know by the close of today whether or not this channel is healthy enough to act as a guide for price to modulate and lower support, travels to the upper resistance line, comes back down, and that's how it weaves itself up inside of the channel to higher prints. I know I'm not saying that very well. I'm clearly not saying that very well, but we'll just keep repeating it until there's a paragraph where I can write something out exactly what my sentiment is and what my analysis is of price as it sits before the U.S. market, and maybe what the projection is for Friday. I know everyone is always interested in how the weekends develop and how the Friday close treats price in anticipation of the weekend trade, if there is one to be had. We are pre-lunar eclipse. I get that wrong all the time because we're not covering up the moon, covering up the sun. So the solar eclipse is coming, and I tried to get a conversation going on about some of the rare things that happen during an eclipse, and it's always fun to talk about price action when there is something, like a big event like this that the entire world basically knows about the event, and then of course all of the US knows about the event. It's getting a lot of press as the eclipse and the timer move across the US. I guess it's the first time that it's moved across the US as far as the length of the country. So we'll talk about all sorts of things like that. We are also going to visit, because I titled this event a little differently, we're going to, of course, go back and visit Twitter, talk a little bit about setting up that tweet deck for everyone. And then, of course, visit MX4 and see what their day is looking like and what their plans are for the weekend. Stream is still running strong. Then we're going to focus on a news outlet as often as I can. Fridays are always kind of a cool day to do it, where we're just really top to bottom approach, taking a look at Cointelegraph. Cointelegraph, we're going to go top to bottom and look at how they dispense with their news, the type of stories that they follow, who's advertising with them, who's writing for them, what little widgets and fun things and apps and so forth that we might be able to get from going to their site and consuming their content. So that'll be the cover girl today, Cointelegraph.com, Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchain news. And there's a couple of things. I want to finish up with the basket of names, the BTC, LTC, Ethereum Classic, Neo, that basket of names that we have. What's difficult on my side is that if I start really messing around too much with my chart, it's going to cause problems. So we may just end up doing it all in the widget and then building out that URL that is exclusive to that pair, and then we'll put that in the comment section. And if we don't get through it live, we'll just build it up through the comment section. Comment section is always a great place to focus on, especially if you're going back to my prior content. What I'm trying to do is put everything that was discussed in as a comment, so that if there's a website, because as a user, when you're in the comment section, you can't put a link in on YouTube. So it's up to the host and or the moderators to get those links to you. So that's why I'm doing that. So it's not we're not having to struggle whatsoever with, well, I didn't see that link, where's that link? And then, of course, if I don't get it in the description every day, it will be in the comment section. So talking a lot about that, a lot about, how far can you push YouTube and really start using it as a communication location for your listeners, tribes, viewers, fans, and really cranking YouTube up a notch for everyone, because it can be really cool like that. All right, so we're at 4328.62, up on the session 1.14%. We'll open up the general news rail. And 20 minutes ago, investor Albert Wenger to fund X Prize for blockchain-powered blogs. X Prize. We definitely want to look into that. The world of the blogs. Let's see how they're going to handle. D&H files for multiple patents on private blockchain tech. That was an hour ago on, once again, Yahoo Finance. 2 hours ago, couldn't claim your Bitcoin Cash. BTC.com now has a tool for that. So 3 pretty interesting stories. I like this sort of thing, this X Prize powered blogs. I think with Medium, giving people maybe better, more powerful places that they can do their writings, I think is important. I opened up my Blogger a few months back, and it just felt really clumsy. It felt as though I'm supposed to do all this pre-work and then just use their skin and upload, which is fine. It just kind of didn't feel very much like I was part of anything. And then it was a little clumsy the way my experience was over there, but super powerful, right? Blogger. And maybe I'll put my Blogger address. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and get it up right now. And we will go into, you can see my numbers are okay. And let's go into this one here, chart, crypto assets, the Chart Chat Connect. And let's go into a view. Make sure I can get into it first of all here. Okay, so we're going to close that because I actually want to see I think maybe we go here. See what I mean? It's like I can't even get to my post. And then it drops down. I don't know if you noticed that, how it dropped the menu down. If I view, there we go. There we go. All right, so this is my blogger. And because it gives you like all these different ways that you can look at it, you don't know exactly how you should create it for the ultimate view for the reader. And but you know, I mean, it looks, once it's actually like done, it looks pretty decent. But I was finding that there was maybe just too much time taken in anticipating what the final view would look like. But in any event, I do have a blogger. And as a matter of fact, let me get into, see if that's what it does there. Oh, I know another thing that it did was that it changed the name of the URL. And you'll notice that, here, I'll go ahead and I'll make a copy. Oops, make a copy. I'll put it in our chat. Let me get over there. Back to the chart. And there's my blogger. Back over there. That's the underbelly there. I also found out that when you take the headline over to Twitter, that for me, because I had Chart Chat Connect, that it picked up a website, and it was not my website. And that was another thing. I was like, wait a second, I've written the headline. I don't need Twitter to then translate that headline into an HTTP. I don't need that, and of course I would have to go back over to Twitter and correct it. So it was just, it felt a little clumsy in the beginning. I've had a blogger forever. In fact, we'll go into a magazine style so we can see it. And then X out of that. So you can see July 18th is the last time that I put my charts in Blogger. And we'll go down and we can see that, going to my early Blogger. And another thing, it doesn't give you the year. That's 2013. My very first Blogger, published Blogger, was back in October 2013. October 2013. And you can see, I mean, it looks fantastic, but I'm telling you, when you're in the creative process of it, it's just very difficult to anticipate, you know, maybe how good your work is. And so if you don't have that motivation, and then of course you don't have the community, you don't have a side rail where you can talk to other writers, or there's just no sense of community whatsoever. And so of course, for my work, it has to be pretty systematic, and you know, it has to be very spot on. And then I don't have any advertisers or anything of that nature. So, you know, there we are with it. Now, what I do like about it is that, you know, people do read Blogger. I mean, it's very popular. So, as you can see, the numbers that I was getting on the, so the readability is there. And so you get discovered on Twitter. And of course, I think that the Blogger, the people that follow Blogger look for new bloggers. So, you know, I think if I return to Blogger, that would be almost kind of like I'm going back to the world of frustration. But I think maybe it's a good idea that that you know that I do have a Blogger. So there we go on that. Let's add a Blogger. And also, I think that Blogger lets us put in the embed. I'm saying that as a side note. I have to go back to there. There's the Cointelegraph, future of money. And the three defaults that they have are BTC, BCH, and Ethereum. It's always interesting to see the tickers that are selected for the news outlets up at the top banner. And you can submit a post, and you can submit a press release. We're gonna top to bottom approach on the Cointelegraph. We'll learn all about these different things that they do, and their layout, and their stories, and their authors. And as we go back, again, their adverts, and go all the way down to the bottom. The Cointelegraph covers fintech, blockchain, and Bitcoin, bringing you the latest news and analysis on the future of money. There's their catalog or library. You can advertise, you can franchise. There's the About Us, their projects, joining them, and events. You can find them on Twitter, Google+, Facebook, the RSS feed, LinkedIn, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Telegram. International sites for Bitcoin USA and Bitcoin Japan. Some franchise information down below. Also Bitcoin Brazil, Slovenia, Spain, and Serbia. And then their terms of service and privacy policy, which we'll visit. The Cointelegraph covers fintech. I'll go ahead and make a copy of this. Put that in our chat. Checking on. Oh, wow. What's going on? Over to Twitter. Okay, and I'll be on mute. Hey guys, I'll be back on mic in just a little bit. Okay, back on mic. Thanks a lot for holding on with me here. We're going to be doing kind of the introduction now that it's coming into 9 a.m. And the way that I do that is I go ahead and go over to my YouTube channel and I grab the current event that's live right now. Make sure that it's on mute. See the health of the chat. So the chat is all in good order. And I scroll down. There we are right here. We're live right there. Scroll down. And we get going from right here. So not the most crazy look, but at least it gives you an idea. And then I'm able to follow the introduction. So yo to the yo. Phew, I made it. Now we're in, we've been here for a little bit this morning already. You are listening to, or I am, BeautyBubble. And this is our cryptocurrency action, price headlines, analysis events for Friday, August 18th. Friday, August 18th. What you'll want to do is check our chat. The chat's a really great place to, after the event, especially if you're a replay viewer. I do archive the chat, and the chat is placed in the comment section below. So today's video will be price action on multiple cryptocurrency instruments generally. On all my social channels, I am known as BeautyBubble. My ideas shared are a puree of beauty, technology, financial markets, fashion, and books. You could think of my outreach as trading well leads you to living well. In this video, we will showcase price charts with a special focus on cryptocurrency charting. At times, the video may be in audio only or in pause for breaks, so never fear. Definitely use the chat or even send a message to me over at Twitter. Content value. On a scale of 1 to 10, there's been no preparation or script written, and the quality of production is very low, so it's been pre-rated at a 2. But if you like the content, go ahead and thumbs it up. That encourages me and to create more content and maybe get better at this. There's no affiliation with TradingView.com, which is the graphic interface that you'll notice for my charts, and then should be implied by reference or tone of my voice even, or in the editing of this video. Should there be an affiliate relationship where commissions or promotional considerations are made to myself, the creator, you, the viewer, will be made completely aware here in the description, my voiceover, and social channels that I frequent and post openly. And those would be, of course, YouTube, Google+, Twitter, Blogger, Medium, etc. There's my Bitcoin address, and here is the disclaimer. Please be advised that all content in the chart shown is meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. Trading the stock, bond, currency, cryptocurrency, commodity, and futures markets can be rewarding but is also risky. Be aware that you can lose money and in some ways lose more than you have. It can also be profitable but not without significant risks. You are responsible for your own independent investment transactions. The charts shown are not to serve as an investment advisory service. I highly encourage you, not only encourage, but recommend you to seek professional advice in regard to your own financial decisions. Information you may get from any chart shown and its further discussion in chat rooms or forums where I am not, may not reflect my opinions at the time. The chart shown and their content is not a solicitation, nor an offer for professional investment advice, nor is it an offer to buy or sell stocks, bonds, currencies, cryptocurrencies, commodities, and or futures. Down below, the section here are channels and communities to support and know about. And the newer one is Block Digest. Block Digest. That actually should be in here. I believe it was in the day before's copy and paste. But there's the Mumble. Yeah, I hang out at the BitcoinMumble. We're an open source community where everyone is welcome. And if you go to dragonsden.io, that landing page will lead you to how to get into the Mumble. Here's Mr. Chris Ellis and protip.is. That's protip.is. You're going to be hearing a lot about this project in the near future. And then, where you can see a lot of my work when I'm not live, and meet just the most fascinating people. You will watch and support runreally.bat. That's runreally.bat. He is on his second 7-day, 24-hour, 7 outreach for cryptocurrency. And so it's very, very cool. He uses OBS. He's working out his audio channels. He's really a very cool guy. We have a surf reporter. We have a DJ who builds beats. We have a lot of people that are in the mining community, a lot of people that are very interested in the alternative currencies. So you want to make sure that you check out runreally.bat. In the lower right-hand corner, right to the left of chat there, you'll see a playlist that is playing the last 2 days of my content. So that kind of gives you an idea of how powerful he's created this OBS. And it's just really cool. And I completely suggest that you support him. Go ahead and follow his channel. Get notifications if he does go down and then goes back up live. Okay, so there we go on that. Let me go scroll back up to the top and realize that I do have to change a little bit of the description. And that's, I'll tell you what, there's really not one, like an app, for example. You're supposed to just cut and paste and put it in an email or Gmail. I've talked about this before. Sometimes I put it over to G+. I've been recently going into just YouTube, but I'm thinking that early on, if you create a 3 to 11 minute promo piece for your channel, and that description is the description that you build onto, and you keep that YouTube video going. So it actually becomes kind of like a living example of the recent, the tags, your description, especially if it's lengthy, any links that you might have. I do know, though, if you copy and paste from YouTube the description, those links are not necessarily always active. So there's a little bit of finessing about that. I really respect the person that's able to get into their YouTube. Let me get out of this Inception thing. Be back in just a moment. Okay, guys, I promised that I would come back in just a few minutes. I want to make sure that I do that for you. And price is at 42.89. And you know, that's just where we're at. What can I say? We have 5 more minutes until the U.S. market opens. Could I evaluate more money flow? Was it looks as though we've had higher lows, which is always a good sign. However, there's any kind of like a hooking down where there might be some pre-market jitters. And in my opinion, I think we really have to maybe go to the global news side of the trade today, possibly, and keep kind of an eye on those headlines. But we'll check out Cointelegraph, and let's see how Cointelegraph is delivering us any newer news. We'll do a refresh. And the hot stories have not changed for the day, so this is one thing. Usually sometimes these teams, because they rely on crowdsourcing through submitting posts and submitting press releases, it's not like they can do breaking news. They have to go through a lot of editorial lifting in order to get their stories put together. So you can even see that the stories aren't dated on the right, even though they're dated here, and they're doing a hot story dated August 12th. That's 5 days ago. That's a forever. Now, updating the story, that might be a good thing to do. But when you're over here, make sure that you realize the date that the article was published, because they're not helping you on this side over here to know what date it is. You can hover. That's the 12th. Here's a story on the 13th. On the 15th, it's still 3 days ago. On the 14th, 4 days ago, and on the 11th, 7 days ago. So that, makes it very difficult. It's okay for a weekend read, or, even like a Friday read, to just make sure that you didn't miss a story. But it gets difficult because we're so used to, big breaking news, what's called fast news. But they're a very popular site. That's Cointelegraph.com. Okay, top to bottom. I promise, top to bottom. Here's their header. News, Bitcoin news, Ethereum, altcoin, blockchain news, regulation, scams, and press releases. So this is interesting because I think I keyword Bitcoin news, but not Ethereum, altcoin, blockchain regulation, even though, of course, if there was anything that was breaking about that, we would cover it. Scams, I'm not crazy about even using that keyword, but, this is terminology that's frequented in the cryptocurrency community. And press releases. So let's go to Bitcoin news. Open that up. And you'll notice that here's the Bitcoin news. They're direct. And we'll put that over in our pop-out chat. And so here we are here. All right, so that's the very first one. And I think I have to make sure that I'm still talking to you guys. Yeah, I am. All right, so Bitcoin news. You can see tags Bitcoin. So we get a little bit of ad. Block cat token sale now live. Join, and that is an advertise or advertisement. Bitcoin news. And then explains, it's got a little glossary here about what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is an open source, peer-to-peer, digital, decentralized cryptocurrency powered by the blockchain technology. Its defining characteristic is its decentralization, as the example of the lack of central governing authority, such as a central bank or a ministry of finance. Bitcoin's issuance and circulation are ensured by regular users via a process known as Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin can be sent anywhere, anytime, almost for free, and with little regard for national borders or government bank-imposed restrictions. And here's related links. So they take us to the price, They take us to the price index, and they take us to an educational little piece there. So do we want to go through all of that, or do we want to run through the news? All right, let's go through the news. If you want the hottest news, then you do an update for exclusive offers, enter your email below. So we might go ahead and do that today. I've never done that. I don't get this news delivered to my email, but why not? Here's the recent news, top news, and this should be top commented news. So we'll go to recent, which I think should be what we're looking at here. Headlines such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple price analysis by Rakesh. Then buy Bitcoin at $3,600, CNBC. CNBC has predicted Bitcoin dropping to $3,600, at which point it recommends purchasing. Look at how many people, 2,632 people and 38 minutes ago. So they picked up on the CNBC. So let's take a look at where price is and find out where's 3,600 on our chart. Let's go ahead and come down here. So yes, I have a 96 EMA, watching a 96 EMA from prior action at 3684.95. But CNBC has put it in at 36. So we could make a marking here on the chart that that's the CNBC number. And we can see also on my chart that how it could ledge down. Right now, the furthest ledge that I can project would be the 39.21, and he's asking for another $300 below that. So we'll keep that in mind. $3,600 is being projected by CNBC. CNBC. All right, next article. 75% increase, Bitcoin Cash profits big from BTC uncertainty. This is 3 hours ago. And I don't understand why they do these like much wows and smart investment, price analysis. They have their own little kind of highlighted tags. There's no tag here, no keyword there, or there. Here's your food for thought. So these must be like columns maybe. Ruckus is labeled for that one. Fat cats for that one. There's another much wow. When moon and contest. So I don't know really where they get those tags from or keywords from. We'll have to look into that. Okay, going to the fourth story. Just how anonymous are Bitcoin transactions? This is 18 hours ago by Lisa. Lots of eyeballs on this story with 5 comments. Next story down, 16 hours ago. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, another price analysis from Vladimir. From Joshua's desk, 19 hours ago, Josh Garza's sentencing could be postponed until January 2018. It's always handcuffs in these stories, like always. Handcuffs, Lamborghinis, you know, Pinot Grigio, lots of polo shirts. But sometimes we see more jumpsuits than we see polo shirts. Okay, on the right rail, below the subscribe area, you see where you can reach out or see their work over at Facebook, Twitter, and Telegraph. Then the advert for the new event coming up, Block Show, and it looks like it's powered by the Cointelegraph in Asia, 29th to 30th in November in Singapore, and there you can, I guess, go right into and buy your tickets, and looks like it might be it's served, so there's a redirect there, so there is an affiliate there, or because it says powered by, I'm not really too sure if that's their event, but it's called Block Show. So in November in Singapore. Down below, this is just a very typical rail where it's just an aggregate of what we're reading on the left-hand side, so there's nothing really there. There looks like the numbers, though, the power eyeball numbers and the comment section we know that there are more comments about the is Bitcoin on its way to 5,000 and should you invest or stay away from Bitcoin. Down below we have another ad, another ICO ad, more white space, and then the footer, back to the top. All right, looks like we've got some yammering going on about Bitcoin Cash. And BCH. And we'll go ahead and go to the Bitfinex pair. And let's see what's going on. What's the fuss? What is the fuss here? Let's go to the BCH BTC pair. And what's the problem? What's your problem, fella? So I won't mention names at all because I'm live on YouTube, but I will be sharing that chart. If you want to let me know in chat here what you're seeing or what the problem is, please let me know, okay? Thank you. Over. Yeah, I'm not really too sure. We've been watching this since its release, and we had a potential opportunity to go long at spot '07. Then there were potential interim tops at spot '08. And then I had established free market, which it broke at spot '09. Now it's at spot 12. And we have people yip-yapping about that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Clearly, we had a Ruby Cross long. And once the EMAs kind of started to reestablish themselves, we're really just getting into a perfect horse race here. Right. Okay, so once again, I'm live on YouTube, so I'm not going to mention any names, but clearly, look at my chart, okay? So what do you want to see happen? So we had a Ruby break, we had an interim top, we had free market equilibrium established, it powered through that, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So let's figure out what it is, what do you want to have happen? Well, I want to help you through it. Oh, okay. Like I didn't know that already. I see. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can maybe do a little bit of analysis on it. I mean, I know you probably know, what's happening, but I will try and do some analysis on it. I put my chart in the Mumble, and I will put it over on my in my chat bar over on YouTube too. Okay. I'll keep an eye on it. Oh, we should have a good chart. I know you hate when I say that, right? You're like, yeah, okay. All right, I'll remember that. Gee, thanks, Beauty. I'll keep an eye out for you, though, okay? Over. All right, so those are the good people over at Mumble. And let me make sure that I'm screen sharing, and I am. I'm screen sharing the Bitcoin Cash BTC pair. Bitcoin Cash BTC pair. I mean, early on, if you can get some good readings on a chart's direction early on, you have to work it. You have to spend time in the chart. and establish, you know, these rules for yourself. And even if you don't believe in the cross, it was a new product, and so the tense point is whether or not you want to take the cross. You can see what happened at the cross, okay? So there's no denying that it was reading what are called super crosses or the golden crosses, and then once, you know, once it kind of started to move yet again, and I'm pretty sure that I've had that free market equilibrium line in there since I did my first, probably my first Fibonacci. So I don't know what to tell you. We're going to go into an area of double top, so we can put some lines up there maybe. But as soon as this thing crossed the apex of the W, you got another power move. And I'm sure that there's, you know, some sort of a cool announcement about it or what it is, or etc. So we had, you know, had very negative bias about Bitcoin Cash in the social listening side of things. No one really wanted this thing to go anywhere. And yet, you know, you do have to realize that not only did Bitfinex put it on their platform and start offering it, you know, I mean, it's lower cost, and you're still kind of, you know, associated with Bitcoin. And, you know, I don't know. I think it's just a lower cost alternative now. We'll take a look at Litecoin in just a moment and see how it's doing in comparison. But it just looks like it's getting some press and some more attraction and, you know, action. So if you can pull back a little bit into the double tops, the only thing that might stop this particular train is resistance at the double top. And then if I can see that there's any kind of breakdown up there, we can look for candle formations. Especially we can look for 3 candle formations that might give us a signal of a reversal. And then, you know, we just have to keep an eye on it. If you aren't on the right side of this, you're trying to hold on to this, and you're probably looking at the price. And many traders, you'll hear them, don't look at that decimal point, you know, whether they don't look at the decimal point because the number is too large, or they'll move the decimal point over so that they realize that even though this is a low cost loss, if you are short right now, it still changes the activity of the market participants. So have a little bit of a reality check as to, you know, exactly why did you get in, who did you think you were getting in with, and you know, all those things. Everybody knows about this attitude that I have. You know who your competitors are, guys. Know who's in there with you, who's swimming in the waters with you. And you had to realize that the longs were going to be swimming in this trade. There's no evidence whatsoever that the shorts were going to come in and take this trade down. None. Okay, so now we can just look at technicals and maybe some of the news. All right, so over on that, that's Bitcoin Cash. I'll have to put it now in my description where I covered it. And then let me make sure that I've got a good link for the chat. And let's see here. So that is actually what I want to do is I want to type out what it is first of all. So this is Bitcoin Cash on Bitfinex. And we do have the love bug. I'm taking it is short on the trade, or maybe he's looking for a position to go short and the trade is just running away from him and he cannot find a good position to go short on Bitcoin Cash. So we will keep an eye. We'll put it in the description box. And okay. All right. If you can believe it, there are 336 new results for Bitcoin right now on Twitter. I can't keep up. That's why I opened up the TweetDeck. And even then, it's just, there's so many posts over on Twitter. to try and keep up with. So now we have 351, but we'll still go ahead and do it. And scroll down, and then I think what I'll do is I'll go Bitcoin Cash. Go ahead and look and see. And what is the deal? We always go to latest. What about Bitcoin Cash? Many people consider it as free money, and many dumped it, but now it's worth $500. Bitcoin Cash's price bounces back from Investopedia. Whoa. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple price analysis. That's from Cointelegraph, our media darling of the day. Our Bitcoin, or RBTC, pardon me, over at Reddit. The Bitcoin Cash blockchain is currently operating at 13% of the original chain's difficulty. All right. Damn you, Bitcoin Cash. Gigantic, 4 minutes ago, gigantic Bitcoin Cash trading volume in South Korea will not be televised to the North Koreans, spelled with a C. Probably a good idea. Crypt Scout News has its lineup with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash today. Righty. There's some replies. There's a widget. Okay. More trading volume talk. So clearly I'm not going to be able to get through all those because there's now 6 new results. So you can see it's a very active Twitter, super, super active. All right, let's go back over to Bitcoin News and keep going on our review of Cointelegraph.com. Going into the Bitcoin price, see what they've got for us there. It's waiting. We're waiting for it to load. And Bitcoin, oh, what it is, the Bitcoin price news. Okay, interesting. They have another little educational paragraph. I like this kind of thing where they use their space to educate. Right, so what we'll do is we'll put that in our pop-up. A little piece of education about Bitcoin's price, and I have too many characters. Okay, so let me get rid of this part of it. Copy and paste, delete that, and repeat, and then put that in there. And I hope I got that in there. Is that right? I've got too many characters now too. General something regarding, so get rid of copy and put that in, and ellipsis, and there we go. It took 3 times for me to put that in a YouTube. Clearly there's no way that we could put that over at Twitter. All right, Bitcoin's price is determined by supply and demand. The specific exchange rates are formed in the process of Bitcoin trading on various online exchanges, just as with any other currency. Bitcoin's price is ever-changing and depends on a multitude of factors, including the fact that Bitcoin Cash is now up 22%, and depends on a multitude of factors, including but not limited to the number and size of businesses which accept Bitcoins as payments, general sentiment regarding the cryptocurrency's future, and pure speculation. Goes right back to the recent top news and commented, so same sort of thing is repeated there. Same sort of ad delivery, same articles. So there's no exclusive content here. Oh no, maybe this one here. Looks like it got assigned to this page. And then this is new. We haven't seen that yet, that article. So you get some exclusive delivery on this page, but we don't know exactly how they're making that decision. So they're making an assignment that the Bitcoin price page will get a different set of articles. So that means that you have to stay inside of the, it's not a bad thing, they're just being smart about it. All right, where in the world did my chat go? Okay, I've lost my chat, people. Darn it. All right, we'll have to come back to that then. All right, the next piece is, so that was Bitcoin price news. Let's work back one and go into Bitcoin price index. Bitcoin price index. Okay, so this is kind of cool. It's giving you a, oh, they've got a test your Bitcoin price prediction skills by taking part in our Twitter quiz. And then they give us the Euro USD, the Euro, Cable, CNY, the Ruble, and the Yen. They give you, and it's from Crypto Compare, they give you the line chart, the candle, the open, high, low, close, a little bit of volume bars, some historical pricing, data, price data. They give you a converter, I give, I get, powered once again by Crypto Compare. We don't know who owns Crypto Compare. We'll have to find out. And then once the same news delivery here over on the right. Okay, let's see how far we can stretch the Bitcoin price index. You cannot export this, and you can't send it over to your Twitter. So that I'm not a fan of. I want to be able to share this with my viewers and my audience. And it's okay to have their marketing on it. I don't mind that, but I want to be able to share this with my audience, you know, the whole block. And they don't let you do that here either, but we can go into the Crypto Compare. Crypto Compare takes you to another website. So let's take a look at their Crypto Compare. So here's the USD index. And they offer Bitfinex, GDAX, so we'll head to GDAX. We'll go into the 1 day. And we're comparing it, the index to the GDAX. And what we'll do is now we'll add a third one. We'll take it off the index, and we'll compare Bitfinex to GDAX. We can't take this off, but we do get a nice crosshairs with price. So that's a nice feature if that's not too sensitive. That can be nice because it's giving you, of course, both Bitfinex and GDAX. They deliver it in a little box there, a little chart bubble, a chat bubble, I guess. A little timer along the bottom, and price on the left axis. Okay, I mean it's okay. It's a little, considering that it's a site. I mean it's not a trading site. It's not a charting graphic interface site. I guess this Crypto Compare site is where we would really find more of that. So it's okay. Once again, I would just like to be able to use this somehow off the site. So let's see if they'll listen to that. Do we want to go into Crypto Compare, or do we want to stay on Cointelegraph? I think what we'll do is we will stay on Cointelegraph, and we will revisit Crypto Compare. I'm sure we will see it again on the site soon because we did not visit it when we were on that page. Okay, Bitcoin Price 101 or Bitcoin 101. Once again, it's loading. And then I would think that this is all part of their guide section, which it is. You can see the word guide, and then of course we have guide here. So this is just a redirect from the news page. So when it goes through what are cryptocurrencies, I think maybe we should go through this guide after we're finished with the baby pips. I'll ask around about that. I think that might be a good idea. What do you guys think? I kind of like that idea. So we'll go through the guide. What are cryptocurrencies? What is Bitcoin? How can I buy Bitcoin? How do I sell Bitcoins? Blah, blah. Is Bitcoin legal? What is mining? Blah, blah. Where do I discuss Bitcoin and blah, blah. So I think we should do it. Definitely. And they have a little bit of comment section down below. Looks like you can insert your own advertising. They don't look like they're overhanded about that or heavy-handed with that. Okay, so definitely we will come back to their guide, the Cointelegraph guide. Most excellent. All right, so everything's the same. I think that that's enough for now on Cointelegraph, and we will go back to our Bitcoin Cash chart. Why not? And I will be on mute for just a little bit. I have to find out where my chat went. Okay, I thought I would jump on just real quickly as we're looking at Bitcoin Cash and this parabolic move now up 32%. If you notice, when I was over at my Google Plus, we were like just under 30%, and that was less than 7 minutes ago. So this is when it starts to get pretty dicey for traders because they don't realize how much of this trade has taken off. And of course, there's a lot of anticipation for its follow through short. And calling these kinds of tops is a real talent. If you hadn't gone long and you weren't out, then you would be very hungry, almost what's called being bloodthirsty, to take the trade short. If you see that people are not looking for solid numbers, for example, our high was on the green bar there was spot 13999, and that looks like that was the high. Once again, spot 13999, the high. So we had two highs. We could look at that as a double top. They shaved some profit off, came back in just very ever so slightly, so less people are wanting to take risk long up here. And then it just depends on the market participants, you know. Do they want to end the weekend on a high note and be able to, you know, puff around about what they were able to get out of Bitcoin Cash? Or are they happy to see that the price rest and let the EMAs and all sorts of other indicators kind of catch up with price and let this thing run? So, well, we don't know yet exactly. I think with each one of these, there's going to be some heartbreak in both directions. So, you know, it may want to go to prints that, you know, we are unfamiliar with. And it's just about managing right now, really and truly. You're up 31% on the session now. On the session, not even talking about opportunities that you had at free market, potential interim tops at the cross. So if you're a percentage gainer kind of a guy, then you know you cannot be denying that on the session you're up 31%. It's a Friday. It's the Friday before the eclipse day. Not that that might make any difference whatsoever in your philosophy or thesis, your trade plan. But you know, you need to be careful up here that you lose. No one wants to lose any of these games. So have something in mind, you know, that you do not want to give back. There's really, there's some things that we can do on the Fibonacci side to take the swing low to high, being that it looks as though we did get kind of an interim top. Remember, this is just on the 1 minute. You are looking at a 60-minute indicator, but you're looking at 1 minute, at 1 minute bars. So I think what we'll do is let's get to a bigger chart so we can have some clue. And you can see that, of course, I've had my eyes on, there's the 618 float back at spot 14144. I also had another clue in at spot 13569. These are all from early prints on the trade. So we know, or at least I know, that we have some troubles and definitely holding spot 1.4. And so more than likely there will be other traders that are reading into those signals as well. But what we'll do is we will do another swing, but this time we will do it from the cross. So when we come down here, we'll grab another, just a Fibonacci simple fib retracement tool, which is this tool right here. We'll take it from the low or thereabouts, this low candle here, and we'll take it to the high, and we'll bring it here. This isn't very informative because the move has been so parabolic that it's suggesting that the range on Fibonacci goes from 14023, so I'd have to get a little bit more specific there, I guess, and down to spot 12297. So that range, if you were taking it short to there, that's a nice play. But you'll notice at the halfway point here, so we might be able to move our Fibonacci up to here and see where we're getting. And that makes a little bit more sense. So we start in here, and now it's breaking down and breaking through there, the 236. Should get a tag of the 382 if it's to survive. And we'll go in a little tighter. I hope you guys were able to see how I did that. Kind of doing a progressive Fibonacci, and you'll notice all of the grazing now. And what we're looking for is this line right here. That ledge short should be all that the longs are willing to give up. And if there are more sellers than there are buyers, then of course we won't survive that pullback. And I think it's probably prudent also to start counting the 9 candles down. We know that the trade generally, all purpose, is, where the 8 is holding the close. And so it's just a matter of whether or not people are wanting to participate in profit taking. Here we're getting a little bit of a buying that comes in on the fib level. That level right there is a fib. We'll go back out so I can tell you which one it is. So we're getting reaction on the 236. Let's go back in. Yeah, I think maybe I'll do a 5-minute. Yeah, there we go. The 236. We get a reaction off of that. We'll see if they like those lower prints to climb back in. And then the sellers will just get exhausted because they see that maybe there's a higher print there in the future. So we'll see. All right, because none of us know what will happen, I will come back over to the YouTube itself and go back on mute until about, another 20 minutes or so. I hope you guys all get that. I'll be back on mic in just a couple of moments here, okay, guys? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read Jimmy's article that's been now published on CoinDesk. CoinDesk.com by Jimmy Song. Bitcoin Cash is now more profitable to mine than Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash's surge above $500 today is changing more than just the net worth of its investors and users. The rising price is also creating the incentive for miners to dedicate computing power to the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, one that could find them moving away from Bitcoin. With the new push, Bitcoin Cash miners are making around 2% more mining on Bitcoin than they do on Bitcoin Cash. Let's read that again. With the new push, Bitcoin Cash miners are making around 2% more mining on Bitcoin than they do on Bitcoin Cash. And that spread could further increase with an upcoming adjustment on Bitcoin Cash that will make it even easier to mine. Block 479808, set for this weekend, will likely trigger a difficulty adjustment downwards 50%. And if prices of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash stay the same, this means miners will make almost double on Bitcoin Cash what they would on Bitcoin. However, even with this threshold met, not all things are equal on both chains. The Bitcoin blockchain charges higher fees on transactions. So miners must take into account the extra 1.5 BTC per block on Bitcoin, about 6,000 US dollars. By comparison, Bitcoin Cash has very low fees, typically under 50 US dollars. Lastly, depending on the block times, Bitcoin currently gets the 100 confirmations needed to spend the mining reward faster than Bitcoin Cash. Currently, Bitcoin takes about 17 hours and Bitcoin Cash takes about 34 hours. Further, combined with the higher liquidity, Bitcoin may still emerge as more attractive to mine at the moment. And we don't get any little blurb about Jimmy, which I would like to see that Cointelegraph, I always get this wrong, CoinDesk gives to the reader. But if you want to, Jimmy's got a wonderful Twitter, and then he's got a fantastic Medium. And so you definitely want to follow Jimmy. It gives you the author about page, and then all the articles that he's written, but no avatar and no description. He's been writing for CoinDesk now. It looks to be since June 14th. His first article, Bitcoin Scaling. Next article, the Bitcoin Cash Timeline. Next, why even miners that hate Bitcoin Cash might want to mine it. Bitcoin Cash eases mining difficulty, and Bitcoin Cash is now more profitable. So the theme of Bitcoin Cash seems to be in there pretty heavily since July 31st. And of course, here we are, we're up 23.63% on the day at spot 12859. That's the Bitcoin Cash BTC pair, which is the pair that I follow. Very interesting. So Jimmy needs to have his avatar, and then there needs to be a little bit about Jimmy because a lot of people really enjoy him very much. We'll go back to the CoinDesk. We will be covering CoinDesk. Let's see if they also have a educational component. They do. They have a Blockchain 101. So that might be the third. Let's see how many. Beginner's Guide. Never miss a story. Okay, well, I don't want to say no thanks because I hate doing that. And it looks like it's not going to let me get out of it. Nope, it's not going to let me get out. And I don't want to say no thanks. So that anytime that happens, I go ahead and X out. Because I think that they should give you a chance to get out of the opt-in without communicating with the opt-in. Because it's not like I'm saying no thanks. I'm just saying not at this time, and I should be able to X out. Ooh, I'm going to look into that. On the beauty side, natural toxins used by homeopathy brand without any precision. Gotta remember the dose makes the poison. Yikes. To look into that. Interesting. Well, I'm going to make my own. Coin. Right. Make sure that I've got Chris on here. Sometimes I don't. Chris, sure. There's the dragon's den. There's the dragon's den IO, but that's not right. Let's let me go to the BitcoinMumble. Where can I find these guys? Okay, then I think what I want is, let's see where we're at with here. Go back to my Hangout. Go ahead and get out of my screen share while I get some, need to get some artwork on there. Okay, so I think I need to get to another, let's go ahead, that's the untitled folder, right? And what I want to do is, let me go to entitled, no, banners maybe? No, art all. Let me go to art all. Gotta find something that I can use. Something. Okay, let's see if I can get to this far. No. Gosh, I'm just looking for a good piece of art. It drives me crazy. Nuts. Even find a decent piece of work. Let's see here. Oh man. For the banners, I guess. Right here. Maybe I can find something in here. Okay, I'll do the Benjamin Franklin, I guess. Yeah, I can get that coming in. Right, so change that up. Put him over there. Finally, I found my art. Okay, maybe put that over here. Excuse me, I'm going to put him over there. Now we can get that. Thank you. Let's see how it looks. Back to the chart. And then I think what I'll do is shorten up. Let's see. Going back to the application window and share. Present to everyone. Hide. And there we go. Let me play around a little bit with the time frames so I can get the, oops, so we can maybe, I don't want to mess with my Fibonacci, that's the problem. I think what I'll do though is that let me squeeze this over here. We're not going to be too perfect about these. And then so that you guys know where I got it from, we'll definitely make sure that we do the swing. Swing low, swing high, right? On the candles themselves. So swing low, from spot 10355 to the swing high of spot 1399. Now trading at 28.84% up on the day, spot 134. Spot 134, and we're looking for spot 1399. If I have that right. Right? Yep, got it. Okay, so we'll get in a little tighter into the 5 minute. Maybe that's a little easier to see. In the 1 minute, you can see we got the bounce off the 382, got the ledge on the 236, and the bounce came in at the 382. And we studied this over at Baby Pips the other day. In fact, we're in the middle of the Fibonacci work right now, and it talks about the bump at the 382. So sellers had their nice time, and the buyers came back in at these lower prints. All right, I think that does it. I'll put myself back on mute, and let me get over to the Google itself. And I said that I'd be in from 10:05 to 11:05. And we have some liquidations coming in for the XBT USD. Be interesting to see if we see those liquidations come in for the Bitcoin that comes into the Bitcoin Cash. Let me grab those liquidation examples for you guys to see. Let me grab, let's say, make sure that I can get the whole thing. Grab one so you can see what it looks like. So BitMEX liquidation. This is the example. It looks like in real life. Pardon me. Grab another one for you. This is the one prior. Prior. I'll give you an example. Bring the mumble down. Oh, these are only examples. Can't be on mute for a little bit. I'd like to do today. I think what we'll do is that we'll just kind of finish out here. I think that's probably a really good time to finish. We're approaching the 11:30 hour AM New York time. Thank you very much, very, very much. Make sure that you check the description box down below so that you can kind of get a feel. Subscribe to the channel if it's that, if I'm your kind of sort of girl, and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I go live. I have been trying my very hardest to go live every single day with a little bit of different content. We're bringing you the babypips.com lessons, going through every single line of lessons that they have there. And then today we decided that, well, maybe we should go through the Cointelegraph or Telegram. Go through their lesson program that they've got going on, and then CoinDesk has one too. So that's that's a big lineup for us to get through all of those bits and pieces of education that's out there, so that we can get them in the can for YouTube, and for people that are in the future that maybe need to have not structured lessons, but be reminded, that they do need to go through this basic education. And then today, over at my Twitter, I started a Follow Friday tag where I'm putting in journalists and opinion makers, or thought makers, and we'll be building that out a little bit. So make sure that you check that out. And as always, you can follow me here on YouTube. Not so much on Twitter. Look for my work on Google+, and make sure that you run over to MX4 Live, and you can check me out on the chat over there too. All right, thanks everybody.